Hi, YouTube. Good afternoon to the whole YouTube world and community. My name is John Anagnos. I am a residential real estate agent with EXP Realty. I have been with EXP for the past 6 years, so since 2018. And I wanted to start this YouTube channel to share with you my experience as a real estate agent and also give you help and expertise along the way for any aspiring real estate agents or any current, seasoned agents out there or seasoned, real estate agents that are, vets at this because we're in a changing real estate market and, interest rates that are at, 20-year highs right now. I know that everyone's hedging their bets with the expected interest rate cut in September. And I really, really hope that Jerome Powell, who's the chairman of the Federal Reserve, does in fact go through with that he does cut rates by at least a percentage point or two. It would certainly help us a lot. Pardon that. Um, anyway, um, I wanted to share with you my experience with, real estate thus far, and that, you know, some of the best ways that I know to go about getting business. Um, One of them is off of the EXP referral networks that's built into EXP with the on the workplace app by Facebook. So any agents out there that are a part of EXP, go look up the referral networks on EXP on the workplace. Any referral network at all that you are, anywhere that you live in, the neighborhoods that you are in, simply go into the workplace app and go into the search bar and just add look up the closest network that's closest to you and join for free and just watch that thing like a hawk. And the first when you see someone post a business for a seller or a buyer, um, just be the first one to respond to it, connect with that agent, and pay a referral fee out at the end. There you go. That's one. Two is good old fashioned expireds, which I think we all know how to find those, but in case you don't, simply go onto the MLS and just click in the immediate area where you live and just click on the expired button, and the MLS will populate all the expireds listings within the last 30 days or the ones that just became expired, meaning their agent failed to bring them an offer, to the table. And more likely than not, that seller is probably still thinking about selling, usually speaking. So, find their information on, sometimes in some cases, the home seller lists their name. Um, their name can be found if you just click on the address for the listing, and you can, Stokio them to get their number, or do free, fast people search or free people search to get their name and number these days. That's one, another potential lead source. And, the thing to do with that is, what's the message that people are responding to these days is, hey, you know what? I can bring you a cash offer, and I've got buyers that want to work with you. And if in fact you don't have that resource in your arsenal, please reach out to me, and I'm more than happy to help you with that. I reach out to me. I'm happy to to bring you on to EXP and share with you all the resources and tools that I have at my partners and I's disposal, and help you, bring you a valid cash offer that's real, because we can. If in fact you don't want to leave your brokerage, you don't have to. You can stay where you are, and I'm still happy to help you do that. But or I mean, you can just simply call them up and be like, "Hey, um, my name is John Anagnos with EXP Realty. Are you thinking about selling, or do you know anyone who is?" And don't say another word. Just let them talk. You know. And also, when you do get somebody on the phone live, make sure that you just so I saw that your house was on the market recently. What was making you want to sell? What was your motivation there? What was on your mind? What's going on in your life? Make sure you find out what's going on with them. And always, 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 if you can, make the appointment in person, and by all means, print out an exclusive residential listing agreement with you. Bring it to the appointment, a pen and paper folder, all that jazz. So you give yourself the best chance of getting that business. And so we went over two just now. EXP referral networks expires. There's an app called Domi, which you can download on your phone, and it uses algorithms and AI to track potential new sellers, distressed homes, change of name, divorce, whatever the case is. They've got a bunch of different things on there. So that's three. And oh yeah, of course, FSBOs, for sale by owners. You can find those types of leads all over Zillow. Zillow is notorious for that type of thing. Just remember, why a FSBO is a FSBO. A FSBO is a FSBO because they don't want to pay a commission. But the thing is, as long as you're giving them value and presenting them value, hey, you know what? I'm gonna, reach out to my network, see if I can bring you a cash offer. And in addition to that, I'm going to recommend, here's a folder with all the vendors that I work with. So, contacts for plumbers, or, gardeners, or people that do landscaping, or electricians, or, people that saved homes. Give all those types of things to them without asking for it. Because remember, at the end of the day, real estate is a relationship business. You need to build relationships with people. You really, really do. And, if you give before you take, you give yourself a chance of doing it. You give yourself a pretty good chance of doing that. So, that's, let's see, EXP referral networks expires. It canceled, although if someone does in fact cancel their listing on their house, there's more than likely, probably a likely reason they did that, and they're not usually looking to sell, but still. Expired, canceled, done. EXP referral networks. If you're a part of EXP, of course. FSBOs. And then there's also something that I and my partner recently signed up for, which is something called Prime Street. You pay a one-time fee for it up front, and you need a team of 10 agents. So just so you know, that is required by them. You need a team of 10 agents by them, and they will start sending you, hot referrals. So yeah, those are 6 right there. Most of them don't cost a lot of money. Most of these things are, readily accessible, and they're available to you. And once you've actually gotten the listing, once you've actually signed it, there's a couple of things, well, 3 things primarily that you should really focus on. But the most important one is the price. It's always, 99.9% of the time, it's always, 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 always the price. And, especially since we're living through this current real estate market where interest rates are at 20-year highs, this applies to any real estate market, it just does. You need to price it right the first time, because the most important time you have on the market is the first 3 days, the first 72 hours. If you've priced the property right the first time around, more likely than not, your phone's going to be blowing up with phone calls and text messages and emails from agents and from, agents that represent buyers, solo buyers themselves, that want to set up showings for a home. And there is no better way to sell a house than getting a showing. If you have, I don't know, 8 to 12 showings within the first 72 hours, the likelihood of you closing that home within the first 2 to 3 weeks, you have more than a 90% chance of that. more than 90% chance. Because when you have that kind of traction in the market, usually speaking, that means that you're going to get probably 4 to 5 different offers from people. And when that's the case, you give yourself the ability to leverage and also negotiate. And at that particular point, the seller's winning because you're able to, tell the other party, hey, you know what, we really appreciate your offer coming in. We really, really appreciate it. But we have other offers, that are right there. And you need to present your highest and strongest offer by, Monday at 5 p.m. That's when we're reviewing offers. If you do that, the likelihood of you closing an escrow is very, 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 very high. But excuse me. In addition to that, when I say price the home accordingly, what you want to do is price it, uh, you know, under the current market value. So you want to go 12 to 15% under the current market value, especially in this real estate market. And I will tell you why. All buyers out there, regardless of the market circumstances, they all want a deal. They all want a deal. They all do. And if you come onto the market too strong, you're just going to sit there for weeks on end. The weeks are going to turn into months. You're going to have no traction. Then you're going to be dead in the water, wondering what happened. And then what's going to happen is that your client, your seller, is going to be infuriated with you, and you're going to end up either losing the listing, or two, having to do a price reduction, which you want to avoid doing. Because when you do that, you're literally telling the market, I can't get the offer that we want. And when that happens, even if you don't do a price reduction, some agent's going to come along, months and months later, weeks, months later, and saying, hey, you know what? I have a client that is really interested in this. Let's set up a showing. They're going to come see the house, check it out for an hour and a half, get your hopes up, and then they're going to make you a lowball offer, which your client isn't going to want to see you here. The way to avoid that, the way to get the most bang for your seller, to get the highest and best and strongest offer possible, is to price it 12 to 15% under the current market value. My partner and I have been doing this for years now. And for the clients that listen to us, it's worked every single time. Every single time. Because when you come under the current market value, buyers see that, agents see that on the MLS, and everyone wants to come, if they're remotely interested in it at all, they're going to come see it. So, and more likely than if you're getting showings from that and they're staying at a property for longer than half an hour, longer than 30 minutes, the odds of you getting an offer in are pretty high. Generally speaking, they usually are. So keep that in mind. You always want to price it under the current market value, 12 to 15%. And for those of you that are, saying it's too much, look at this real estate market right now. Look at you have 3 options with pricing. You can come on way, way, way over, which you shouldn't do to begin with. You can price where the competition's priced at, which, okay, you'll sell the house probably in the next 90 days. And then your client's going to get impatient with you. Or you can do what I'm suggesting. Now, I know your client's probably not going to want to hear that, but keep this in mind. Dear Mr. Seller, you and I do not decide the selling price. The listing price is not the selling price. It, generally speaking, is not. The listing price is the invitation price. It's the invitation for buyers to come see it. It's an invitation price for the listing price. Because if you've listed it correctly the first time with the price, typically speaking, you will get over asking in the end. And that means you're going to have a happy client. And that deal is going to lead to more deals. That's what's going on. But I would hate for any agent, especially any new agent, to come in there, get a listing, which is tough enough to do, and then price it at the top of the market, or even where the competition is. And I mean, if you price it at the top of the market in this market, you're not going to win. You're going to have it's going to be sitting there forever. You're going to have to do a price reduction, and then you're going to have an unhappy client. Either that, or you're going to lose the listing. One of the two. If you price it where the competition's priced at, I mean, yeah, typically speaking, you will sell the home, but it will probably take a lot longer in this current real estate climate. If you price it below current market value, you will generate traction. You will generate phone calls. You will generate text messages. You will get emails about setting up showings. And when you set up showings, not open houses, even though sometimes I know open houses can be a surefire way to get things done. But if you get 12 showing requests within the first 72 hours, the first 3 days, you have more than an 85% chance of getting into escrow and closing that deal. And that keeps the deals coming. That's what this is about. That's what this is about. So, keep all that in mind.